Hey everyone, so today I have a Sephora haul for you. My bag is looking a little bit rough. We were actually out of town on family vacation. We road tripped. So this was actually in like the back seat, maybe under some luggage, but it made it home. All of the products are in good shape and I wanted to show you what I picked up. I always get excited about makeup, like new makeup, old makeup, it doesn't matter. I love makeup, but I'm so excited about these products in particular because it was such a fun shopping trip. I don't get the chance to shop in store at Sephora very often. The closest Sephora to where I live is maybe like an hour and a half away. So usually I shop online. We do have a Sephora inside Kohl's. I've been in there a few times and I have to say it's really, really nice. Like the shelves are so well stocked. There's hardly anyone in there at all. And the displays are beautiful, but they don't have like all of my go-to brands, or they don't always have like the latest and newest things I want to see in person, or if I want to like shade match myself or swatch something. So it was so relaxing to actually just like browse the aisles and swatch products and see them in person. We took a road trip. I'm from the Northeast. We drove all the way down to Florida, which I thought was going to be really rough with a toddler, but it actually went so well. So we spent a few days kind of like in the Tampa area to visit family. Then we went over to Orlando to go to Disney. Then we went to the other side of Florida to visit more family, and then drove up to North Carolina to go to the beach with more family. So it was a lot of family time. It was so much fun. The weather was beautiful, but I am happy to be home in the Northeast because fall is the best and it just feels like fall. I got some good fall related makeup products. So anyway, while we were in Orlando, we were at Disney Springs and I needed to repurchase my mascara. And while I was there, I was like, let me just take like half an hour and go through the aisles. And it was so fun, so relaxing. So let me show you what I picked up. I actually ordered a few things online as well because they weren't available in store. I think I've tried everything at least a few times, so I'll share my initial thoughts with you as well. But the original reason why I went into the Sephora is because I wanted to repurchase my go-to mascara, the Tower 28 MakeWaves. So when we went out of town, I brought this one with me and then also the Milani Anti-Gravity. I like the Milani Anti-Gravity, but this is the one that I was reaching for the most because it was very hot where we were. And this just stays in place really, really well. It's been my favorite ever since they launched it. It just does such a good job of like lifting and curling your lashes, and it does not move all day. Like I don't experience any flaking or any smudging. I wore this when we went to Disney on like a 95-degree day and my lashes looked really, really good. A lot of my other makeup was melting off, but this did not move all day. And I just love it. At this point, I've gone through like maybe 4 of them, and I just can't imagine I'll ever find another mascara that works quite as well as this one. Like it is my perfect go-to formula. So I specifically went in to grab this. I actually ended up getting a new foundation. So I've been telling you for a while that I've wanted to try more products from Glossier. The only product I had tried up until this point was the Glossier Boy Brow, which I really do love. And every time I'm on Sephora's website, I genuinely don't know which product to try next. So as I was kind of looking through all of the products, I saw this in person. And when I originally read the description of it online, it sounded really, really nice. I think I talked about it in a purchase or pass video, but it is a light to medium coverage natural finish foundation. And I ended up going with the shade Light 2, which is a perfect shade match. It is so much more ideal to be able to choose your shade in person because a lot of the time online, they end up looking so different. And this really is like my ideal shade match. I really like this foundation. I think at this point I've worn it 3 times. I haven't watched any reviews of this foundation, but I will say I saw a few videos in my subscription box, and based on like the title and the thumbnail, it didn't look like people were going to give it like a very favorable review. So I'm definitely curious to know what people are saying. I need to go through and watch some videos, but so far I really like this. I do have combo skin, and the first time I tried it, we were in North Carolina, so I think it was like 85 degrees maybe. And then I just wore this yesterday and it's like 65 degrees where I'm at right now. I will say it definitely held up better here where I live, where it's like 65 and it's cool and my skin isn't quite as oily. But in North Carolina, like it still looked good, but it looked very glowy a lot faster. So if you have oily skin or you live in a super hot climate, I don't know if this will be the most ideal formula, but I think heading into fall and winter, I could really enjoy this one. It feels really moisturizing. It definitely has like a little bit of a thicker, creamy feel to it, but it blends out so well. Actually, I took a picture of me wearing this in natural light because I was kind of curious to see how it looked on camera. So I'll put a picture for you on the screen, and I think it looks great. It has a very skin-like finish to it. It doesn't necessarily have like the most smoothing quality. Like I've had some breakouts on my cheeks and I feel like you can see the texture on my skin, at least in person. So that is something to be aware of. But if you pair it with like a very smoothing primer, that might make a difference. I want to wear this a few more times before I share a full review. But so far, I am really enjoying it. Actually, another product that I wore yesterday that I also have on in that photo is this one from Milk Makeup. This is their new Odyssey Lip Oil Gloss. I wasn't really sure if I was going to try these. I think, again, I talked about these in a purchase or pass video, but there's just something about like swatching products in person and seeing them in person that can sway your opinion like one way or the other. There are other products I thought I was going to try after I saw them in person. I was like, I'm not into those, but this color in particular really pulled me in. So this is in the shade Quest. It is a cream finish. This is honestly so stunning. Like this is the definition of like a true My Lips but better color. Even though it's a cream, it's not like a full intense opaque lip color. So if you use a light layer, you just get more of like a sheer, not like fully sheer, but like a light wash of color. And then if you layer it up, it definitely looks a little more opaque on the lips, but it's not so intense. Like I'm definitely not a fan of really super pigmented lip glosses as a whole, but this also isn't quite as sheer as a lot of the other formulas that are out right now. And honestly, I don't know if that's the case with all of the shades because there were other shades that weren't super appealing to me, but this looks so pretty on the lips. It's gorgeous. Like I really can see myself reaching for this quite a bit over the fall and the winter. It's a little bit cool toned. It has like a hint of pink. It's so stunning. What's interesting is when I was looking at this online, like it looks a little bit different. It's a little bit pinkier in person, and online it definitely leans like a little bit more taupey, I guess overall. They describe it as a caramel beige, and I would describe it as more of like a rosy mauve. So that's interesting. Again, just kind of looking at things in person does make a difference because I don't know that I would have picked this one up. I also picked up the new Saie Glossybounce Hydrating Lip Oil. I got the shade Push. When I talked about this one in a purchase or pass video, there was a certain shade I was considering. I think it was the shade Dip because that's the one I added to my loves list, but I actually went with the shade Push, which is a soft brown. I'm wearing this today. I have it on over a lip liner. I'm wearing the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade BFF. And this really is like the most perfect fall nude. I'm so excited about this one. Honestly, I think these formulas are very, very similar. Like there isn't really a big difference between the two. So I feel like you could really go with either one depending on like the shade you're looking for and the finish. The Milk Makeup one might have like slightly more pigment to it, but they feel almost identical. Like they have that lip oil, lip gloss feel to them. They're not sticky, very shiny, super comfortable, really glossy. And I love this one as well. I will say the Milk Makeup one has like a slight vanilla scent, whereas this one doesn't have a scent. Actually, wait, what is this? What does this smell like? It kind of has like a little bit of a cardboard scent, I want to say, like almost a little bit of an earthy scent. I didn't even realize that at first because as I'm wearing it, you can't smell it. But when I like make an actual effort to see if it smells like something, I get like a weird cardboard vibe. But again, it's on my lips and I can't smell anything. So I wouldn't really let that turn you off. I am a fan of the vanilla scent of the Milk Makeup one. I feel like it's just more pleasant overall. But I know some people don't like any scent when it comes to their products. So I don't know. I don't know if I would consider more shades of this either. I think the shade Dream is really pretty. That's like a berry, but the rest of the shades end up looking so similar on the models. I don't feel like you're going to need like a bunch of these. I feel like a lot of them will end up looking pretty close. Push and Dream are a little more vibrant, like these bottom two, but the rest look very, very sheer. I do have something that could be a potential regret. I'm not 100% sure because I've only used it once, so I want to use it a few more times, but I wasn't really that impressed by it initially. It's the Patrick Ta Major Sculpt Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. So I love the Patrick Ta blush duos. I think those are absolutely worth the money. They're so gorgeous. You get two different products, so I feel like the value is definitely there. And they just look good on the skin. Like they apply so easily. They're very effortless. But I didn't really get the same feel from this. So I went with the She's Bronzed, which is the Warm Medium Duo. I almost feel like maybe I should have picked up the cooler one, but again, I was in person and this one did look the most appealing in person. This feels bigger than the blush duos. So I do think you maybe get a little bit more product in here. So it does come with a cream and then also a powder. And they're pretty light. Like I'll do some swatches for you, but they're not quite as vibrant when you swatch them or apply them to the skin as they look in the pan. So that's why I went with the warm medium. Otherwise, I probably would have gone with like the lighter one. I don't know. This cream does not have the same just like beautiful glowiness to it that the cream blush has. And then the powder itself is like a true matte powder, but again, it's missing like that natural smooth feel the powder blush has. I just don't think the quality is the same. Just from like the one time I've used it. Maybe after a few more tries, I'll end up loving it, but I'm not sold on this one so far. I truly feel like my Makeup Revolution cream bronzer performs so much better. And then I've been using the Flower Beauty bronzer a ton, and I like the way that looks better too. I did grab the Patrick Starrr One Size Ultimate Setting Powder. So they had sent me a couple of products in PR, including the pink powder. I tried it out in a recent like testing new makeup video, and it was very pink, like intensely pink. And one of you suggested actually mixing it with a like translucent powder. I do have some different translucent powders, so I'm not going to say like I absolutely needed this product, but I do really enjoy this one, and I'm almost through my Huda Beauty powder. So I thought this would be a good one to try instead. I mean, I already tried the formula and I knew that I liked it. It has a very smooth quality to it. I'm wearing it today. I did my makeup like a few hours ago and my skin still looks very smooth, very, very matte. So I am a fan of the formula. I've heard so many good things about it, so I was excited to finally try it out. And the pink powder, like the actual formula was great. It was just the pink shade wasn't ideal for me. So I do think I'll end up mixing them together when I do want more of like that pink tint, but this one is in the shade translucent and I feel like it worked really well for me today. I actually did end up picking up the Fenty Eaze Drop Blur and Smooth Tint Stick. I do think, even though I was in person, I ended up getting the wrong shade. At that time, I didn't have like any sort of tan. And normally I don't tan, but we were at the beach for a week and I feel like inevitably I did get a little bit of a tan. So I think maybe in a few months, once it completely fades, this will be more ideal. But right now it's way too light. And I don't know why I got this shade anyway. I wear 3 in the actual Fenty Eaze Drop, like the liquid version. I just repurchased that like a month ago and I've been loving it so much. It really is like the perfect everyday formula. It's very lightweight. It gives me more of like a light to medium coverage finish. It's really nice. And I love that you can just blend it in with your fingers. So when they came out with this one, I wasn't like the most curious right away, but I've heard really good things about it. And I was kind of swatching it in person. Wait, it feels like you get a small amount of product in here. That's all the product you get, which I feel like is not that much. I don't know, I could be wrong, but based on other like actual stick products I've tried, I feel like you usually get more. This is a very creamy product, so I also feel like maybe I would end up going through this kind of fast. You get 0.32 ounces. I don't know. I haven't actually worn this on the face yet because the shade I got is just a little bit too light. When I swatch it on my hand, like it definitely has this very smooth quality to it. It feels incredibly moisturizing. So I'm not sure if it's going to last on my combo skin super well. I do feel like this could be more ideal during like the actual winter. Even though this shade isn't matching right now, I'm still going to wear it and test out the product to see if I even like it enough to go and purchase a different shade. But again, I think I said I normally wear 3 in the liquid version, but 3 in the stick version looked very, very yellow toned, and 2 was a little more neutral, but 2 is going to be too light for me right now. So not ideal, but we'll see if I even like the formula before I end up committing to a different shade. So while I was at an actual Sephora store, I wanted to check out some different fragrances because I'm generally not someone who will just buy like a random fragrance online before smelling it. Sometimes I'll do that with like Scentbird because you get the chance to try out different options. And obviously you can't always test those ahead of time. But if I'm going to commit to something I can actually try out in person, I want to see if I like it. So I have heard everyone raving about this product. It's the Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato number 33. And I smelled it in person and it really is so good. They only had a set where you could get, I think it was this, like the deluxe, what do they call this? Like the travel spray, and then also a Huda Beauty liquid lipstick. And I just felt like I didn't really want the Huda Beauty liquid lipstick, so I ended up ordering this online, and it honestly smells so good. This strikes me as like a wintry perfume. So for a long time, like when I was 15 all the way up through like when I graduated college, I worked at an ice cream store. It was seriously the best job because I feel like most people when they're going to get ice cream are just in such a good mood. So people would come in like on a date or with their family or alone or whatever, and they would just be like in a really good mood. And this reminds me of like what that store smelled like, but obviously like specifically the pistachio one. What are the notes? Pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. That is like my dream fragrance. I love it. I love super sweet fragrances. I also love really floral fragrances, but I feel like all of these notes together are so good. It's just like this warm, cozy, sweet fragrance. And I think it's going to be a new go-to for me. It really strikes me as like a fall, winter, cozy scent. So I'm excited about this one. And again, I'm just excited I have the chance to actually smell it in person. They might have had this at my Sephora inside Kohl's, but I don't know because they didn't actually even have it at the one at Disney Springs. By the way, like someone helped me find this. The people working at the Sephora at Disney Springs were so nice. Like they were the nicest Sephora employees I've ever encountered. I feel like I talked to like 4 or 5 people separately that day, and I wasn't even in there that long, but because I wasn't like familiar with that store, I was looking for things or like the mascara wasn't out, so one of them actually went and got it for me. They were all so nice. I honestly wish I had that one and like those employees near me because I would go in there all the time. Actually, I also wanted to repurchase this product while I was there too, along with the mascara. So these are the 2 products that were on my list. The Amika Dream Routine Overnight Hydration Treatment. I just ran out of mine like a day or 2 before we got to Orlando. And this is a product that I use pretty regularly. I basically use it as like a leave-in treatment. It's marketed as an overnight hair mask, and usually I'll just use it after I wash my hair, whether that is at night or in the morning. Usually it's in the morning, but on vacation, like when I'm at the beach and it's hot out, usually I will wash it at night too after like a long day. Anyway, I just talked about this in a recent video on like game-changing beauty products that really make a difference. And I used my bottle up fully, so I repurchased this. This has been my go-to product. It leaves my hair feeling just like very soft, very, very hydrated, and not just when I apply it to my hair, but like long-term as well. I was actually just trimming the ends of my hair before filming this video because they were looking a little dry, but truthfully, I feel like this side's a little long. Now it looks a little uneven. I don't know. I need to go back and fix it after this video, but what was I saying? Oh, I think my hair as a whole feels a lot less dry compared to before I was using this product. I really noticed a difference. I even used a little bit of it on my toddler's hair because after like all the swimming, his hair was so dried out. And we do have really good products for his hair too, but I didn't bring them all with me when we were traveling. So this really is an amazing option if you deal with dryness. So in a recent video, or I feel like in pretty much any video where I'm doing my eye makeup, I always mention that I have like a little bit of dryness on this eyelid specifically that it will never go away. It's just like a little bit of texture, and no matter what I do, like nothing really completely smooths it over. So one of you were recommending some products from Skinfix. Now I can't remember exactly which product you recommended, maybe both of them. I did pick up a product from Skinfix that one of you recommended last year. It's like a hand cream if you deal with eczema, and that has worked so well for me. So I thought these would actually be a good option too. So I did pick up the Skinfix Barrier Plus Lipid-Boost 360 eye cream. I've used this twice so far, and I don't know if I'm imagining it, but I really think it made like an instant difference for me. So some eye creams aren't necessarily marketed to be used on the actual eyelid. They're just meant for like under the eye or around the eye area. This one specifically says you can apply it all over your eye area, including your lids. So I've really been focusing it right here. It has a really nice texture. Like it's very thin, but also really creamy. So it sinks in nicely. It almost has like a little bit of a serum creamy feel to it. So I'm excited to keep using it. It says that it targets dark circles, puffiness, fine lines. I deal with all of that, so I'm curious to know how this is going to work for me. I also got the Eczema Plus Dermatitis Face Balm. Actually, I think this is the product that one of you recommended because you said you used this on your eye where you were dealing with dryness and it completely like cleared it up. So this is meant to be used on the face, but it's also safe around the eyes, the lids. You can use it under makeup. So I do have eczema. It's usually just like my hands during the winter when it's really dry out, but like sometimes I do have it on like my neck too, even sometimes like on my face. Just my skin has been all over the place. You guys know that. I keep saying that. So I tried this on my neck where my skin was kind of irritated, and it did feel really nice. And honestly, the next day it looked so much better. My neck as a whole has been like so red and irritated. I feel like everything irritates it, like my t-shirt, my necklace, like my hair, literally everything. So I'm excited to keep using this, and I do want to try this on my eye it's basically like right here, like my eyebrow, my eyelid as well. So anyway, I do like the Skinfix products I've tried. They've worked well for me, and I'm curious to see if these make a difference. Okay, that's everything I wanted to share with you, just products I'm excited to try out. It was so fun just to take like 30 minutes and relax and browse and just like splurge a little bit. It was truly like a vacation shopping trip. Like sometimes when you're on vacation, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but like if I'm at home, I'm just like rushing in and out. But because we had actual time just to relax, it felt really like therapeutic and I just enjoyed it. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.